Hello, Goddess. Welcome back. This is Andrea with You Are Mind, Body, Soul. And in this space, I guide goddesses to bridge the mind, body, and soul through psychosomatic education, consciousness reconditioning, as well as alchemy and energetics. I'm so happy to be here. Honestly, it feels like I've been gone for a while, but it's amazing that it's the month of February. January was pretty challenging for me because I was doing a coffee detox, a sugar detox, and, cutting back on the processed foods. But I am here feeling clean, taking care, easing in, and enjoying this winter. I hope that you have been enjoying your winter, especially if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, because it's going to go so quickly. And before you know it, there will be fresh blooms sprouting, and we'll be in the spring season feeling warm and energized. I really am doing my best to take advantage of this season and listen to my body. My body's been asking me to slow down. I have leaned out on my workouts. And instead of working out intensely like I usually do personally, I have just been cleaning up my nutrition and my diet and taking the time to really do that internal reflection, checking in with those aches and those pains, and really just taking the time to level up my self care. So I hope that you have been doing the same. What has this winter season been looking like for you? Let me know in the comments. So today I have electrolytes, and we are going to talk about how to level up your feminine energy. I'm going to share with you ways in which I have leveled up my feminine energy over the past few years. And speaking of leveling up your feminine energy, electrolytes is one of those great places to start at. When you are drinking water, hopefully you're not drinking tap water or distilled water, which is dead water. Hopefully you're drinking water that is purified, like natural spring water, so that you're getting those vitamins and minerals in there. Electrolytes are critical to your vitality. Whether or not you are an athlete, electrolytes are really going to contribute to your feminine energy, in a sense that we as human beings are all electromagnetic beings. And when we are using electrolytes, we are supporting that that electric chemistry. And feminine energy is on the more energetic realm of that spectrum. We've had multiple conversations about the difference between masculine and feminine energy. And so at this point, we know that feminine energy is on that lighter spectrum, whereas masculine energy is on that denser spectrum. So doing things like supporting your chemistry, your cellular vitality through electrolytes daily is going to support that magnetism that is a key component of being a healthy and divinely activated female. And I'm so happy that I have my electrolytes today, because usually I don't drink electrolytes on camera. Typically, I will have them before I get into these conversations. What my morning routine is, I'll have 20 ounces of water in the morning, and then I have electrolytes. And then when I was drinking coffee, which I don't even know if I'm going to drink coffee for some time, because I really like not being dependent on caffeine in that way. I've been doing teas, black teas, green teas instead, and it has been wonderful. It's felt good, even though it's been challenging. However, I love the feeling of overcoming, excuse me, these challenges. So I really just want to take my time with this video, and that was just your moment of reminding you that hydrating yourself and drinking water are vital. Of course, I have my notes here where I'm going to walk through you walk through some things that have really supported my feminine energy. And the reason that we want to become supporters of our feminine energy and learn how to master that is because feminine women live longer. And the conundrum about living in this world is that it would be perceived as a man's world. Um, However, I have learned over the years that that's actually not true. It has not been true for me. We live in a world that is governed by masculine paradigms and masculine systems. However, this planet and this world is vital, and it is vitalized, revitalized, energized by feminine energy. So in changing that mental dynamic, I have been able to support myself in understanding that when I show up authentically in my feminine energy, that is okay. There have been years that I've worked on myself, doing my internal work and upgrading my consciousness, reconditioning my consciousness to know and to believe and to allow myself to function from a space that it is safe for me to be in my femininity. So my goal for this video is to go over these macro things. So there is the macrocosm and there is the microcosm. And these are the larger picture versus the internal picture. They reflect one another. So I want to go over some general things that have really supported me in developing this for myself. Hormonally, biologically, it's important for us to be living more feminine lives because this is going to support your longevity. And when you go through these steps and begin to practice these things and bring your awareness to these things, it is going to support you on a biological level, on a psychological level, which is going to extend your life. Okay. So the first thing that I have here that I started to work on a long time ago is drawing healthy boundaries, learning how to have healthy boundaries. Boundaries come from a conversation that we have with ourselves about what our actual standards are in life. You cannot draw a boundary unless you have had that internal talk, that conversation with yourself based on reflection about your experiences and the things and the people that you are attracting into your life. Our boundaries show us where we end and where other people's energy begins. Another thing that boundaries does, and what I have found, and this is one of the things that I talk about in my ebook, Exploring Your Divine Feminine Potential, which is linked below, I talk about boundaries that basically set up the border or the container in which you are able to play. So if you think about a game, a board game that you are playing, or your favorite childhood game, when you go to play that game, there are rules that come with the game. And the rules create the structure which allow you to play and enjoy that game. If there was no structure and there were no rules to the game, there would be no foundation, and you would be in an endless circle of potential chaos. So, feminine energy that is activated, feminine energy itself could be synonymous with chaos. It flows, it is sometimes uncontrollable. You know, we think about femininity that is wild and untamed. And when we have boundaries between ourselves and the world, we are able, I have found that I have actually been able to play more in life. So when I think about how I want to be in a relationship, any kind of relationship, I think about what this relationship is asking for me, what it is demanding of me. Let's say a friendship where I'm dealing with a friend that wants to go out and perhaps drink all the time. That was me when I was younger. I attracted friends that wanted to go out and party and drink. And when I became aware of what my standards were for my health and for my well being, I determined that drinking regularly was not for me. I'm not a person that likes to drink. It just does not resonate with my body. I don't like drinking more than maybe like once a month. And prior to a year or two ago, I would only drink maybe like 3 times a year because I just love feeling good because of my relationship that I have with my inner goddess and my self-care standards for the way that I feel. I chose to live a lifestyle where I was not going out and drinking and needing a whole extra day to recover from what would be considered to be fun. Being set behind on my to-do list, on the things that I'm trying to create because I have a headache, a hangover was something that did not resonate with me. Of course, on occasion when there's something to celebrate, or if I just need to shift and really loosen up and relax into my feminine energy, of course I'm going to go out and have a drink. But I had to set these internal boundaries with myself regarding these friendship relationships that were based on going out and drinking. And this is just an example. So I would started to decline these invitations in exchange for doing something that filled me up, that kept my cup full and kept my cup overflowing instead. So you have to determine what really fills up your energy and makes you feel vibrant, because feminine energy is vibrant, it is juicy, it is fluid, and it is flowing. Your feminine energy, an activated feminine, is a presence in her community, and she is a presence in her life. You can think about activated healthy energy as a well in a community. Have you ever been in a community that drinks water from a well? That water is so delicious because it comes directly from the earth. And that well seems to be infinite. And it is because it comes from the source, from the earth. So when we are aware of our energy and we are partaking in these self-care practices, we are overflowing from that well. And then the people in our community are able to drink from that well. You can't call yourself a healer or a practitioner or someone that supports other people if you are not tending to your own well. And every well, again, has that structure, it has that boundary that allows that transition from the earth, the water to transition from the earth to then be sprung out into the community and the people that you choose to share your energy with. So when you don't have healthy boundaries about what gets your energy, it's like having a leak and having holes inside of your well, inside of your vessel. And so anytime you go to pour from a well that already has a leak in it, you are deprived energetically. Excuse me. So think about the last time you showed up in response for something that someone was asking you. I know people that I have witnessed in certain positions. For me, for example, I've had jobs in the past where they were asking me for way more that was in the actual job description. And they kept asking these things and asking these things and asking these things of me. And the crazy thing was that the other relationships that I was having in my life, I was dating a guy at the time, and he was asking these things of me and asking me and just pulling from my energy. And I realized that these things were reflective of one another. And it was something that I was co signing and giving permission to thrive in my life because I did not have healthy boundaries. So it was very interesting. It was October. It was close to Halloween, which is the season where, for me, I really started to go through my death cycles. I quit the job. I quit dating this guy at the same time because I realized that they were both reflections of the same dysfunction that was resonant from me because I was allowing it, because I was leaking from my well. There were holes in my wells. There were holes in my boundaries. They were not firm. So when you have boundaries in life, you're able to play. And so once I learned how to activate healthy boundaries, which means that before I go into any situation where I am sharing and exchanging energy with people, I have these standards and these intrinsic values that come before any demand that anyone is asking of me. So if you want to level up your feminine energy and feel vital in your feminine energy, you're going to need to be clear about what your boundaries are. Okay. The next thing that has helped me to level up my feminine energy is slowing down and releasing control. That's a part of why these videos, I try to take my time with these videos, because when I slow down and I'm able to connect, there is a connection, a current, the same current that I spoke about in my previous videos that connects me with the universe. It connects me with divine source wisdom. And that current is a connection between what I have written down on this paper and what God and spirit and source wants for me to share, that is going to give you these activations. So slowing down is one of those things that I have really had to learn in life. And I love creating these videos and being here with you because it really offers me the opportunity to practice that and to share that art with you. One of the things that's going to help you to slow down is starting to move your body. Don't use a mirror, try it at home. Try moving your hips and move your body slowly, and just start to connect with the sensation and the feeling that is happening for you, whether or not it feels comfortable or it feels uncomfortable. Just having that connection with yourself is going to take you out of your mind and put you into the sensational aspects of who you are. So having activated senses, your ability to see life, your ability to feel and touch and experience textures will be heightened as you begin to activate your feminine energy. The way in which you listen and receive information is going to start to be up leveled when you start to slow down, because now you are living life through your feminine energy versus your masculine energy, which is always in the mind and always in the head. Masculine energy is very calculating, it is very defined. There is always an order and a system to masculine energy. It is that container. When you're activated in your feminine energy, you are more concerned about the contents of that container. So when you begin to release control, when I started releasing control in my life, I found that the things that I had a burning desire for, there was a time where I had burning desires for things and where I had a burning desire to manifest certain things in my reality. Think about something that you want from the depths of your soul, something that you crave passionately. Before I started to do my inner work and I started to level up my energy, my feminine energy, I used to think that the only way to get to the point and where I was receiving those things was to be aggressive about it, to be calculating about it, to check things like incrementally. And of course, I still have that energy because I am a goddess. We support goddess energy on this channel, which is a balance and an interplay of masculine and feminine energy. But stepping away from the masculine energy to activate the feminine energy requires that you release control over your external environment and you exchange that for control and understanding of your internal environment. So the way that life is unfolding for you is oftentimes out of our control, okay? Or it may seem that it is out of our control because it is happening on the external realm. And so when you are looking at a thing and you are trying to control the way that that thing is manifesting, it puts you inside of your head and it puts you on the outside. But when you stop and you take a moment to think about how this feels in your body. So, for example, I'm an empath, okay? And there are certain people and certain things where I'm in situations and I have to check in with myself frequently to see how this is affecting me. So, sometimes I find myself around very masculine women because I do have to interact with a lot of people for work. And I find that when I'm in experiences with really masculine women, you can tell a very masculine woman because she talks a lot and she talks really fast. And she always has like rapid fire questions. This is a telltale sign of a masculine woman. When you're talking fast as a woman, this means that you're not taking time to digest and to process what people are sharing with you. And when you'll even notice a masculine woman, or maybe it may be you, this used to be me. I used to eat very fast. I used to eat really fast because I worked in emergency medicine for about 7 years. And so we never really had proper lunch breaks. We would have to like eat our food fast. So I developed this habit. So what I'm talking about right now is the throat and the throat chakra. Okay. The throat chakra is a more of a masculine chakra. If you think about the tongue inside of the mouth, that's a kind of a phallic type of energy. So when a woman is speaking very fast in conversations, if you're around someone and she has to over explain everything, you're dealing with a masculine woman. Okay? So that's some food for thought, because every chakra either has a feminine quality or a masculine quality. It has a receiving quality or a giving quality. And when you are feminine in your feminine energy, you're okay with buttoning up your lips and listening. So we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And we allow ourselves to take the time to not only psychologically process information and experiences, but we also take the time to energetically process these experiences. So you may be watching this video and you may be listening to the information that I'm saying, but ask yourself, am I actually taking the time to reflect on this and to process it? And am I actually taking the time to practice slowing down, taking the time to reflect on what are healthy boundaries? Because when you really allow yourself to be a sponge and to absorb and to receive, that's your feminine energy. And it will level you up because you'll start to receive nutrients more deeply. It's like when we eat really fast, we're really not actually allowing our digestive system the time that it takes to truly absorb and process food, because you're just piling things in. And that's going to be with all sources of nutrients, not just food. It's what you put into your eyes, or the things that you're receiving through your eyes quick scrolls, or are they something more detailed, more healthy, more wholesome when you receive those things? So I found, just personally recently, because I have become such a steward of my feminine energy and such a devotee of my inner goddess, that I allow myself to take that energy wherever I am, simply because I love the feeling of having relaxed energy. I love being relaxed. I love being receptive in my energy. It slows me down on so many levels and allows me to receive so much more out of the simple things in life. So I found, like, being around women that are like really masculine, I find that I get these energetic boundaries that come up, and it puts me in a space where I feel like I have to shield myself because I have such vibrant energy inside of me and I emit such vibrant energy. Masculine women, it's like, oh, I need a little space. So I have my methods of creating boundaries for myself in those situations. I'll walk away. I'll take a little space. I'll let them run their mouths and run the show. Like, you can have it. I'm gonna save my energy. I have nothing to prove. Stop trying to prove things to people. Just stop. Save your energy, conserve your energy. This is one thing that has been a game changer for me. I let people run circles and run tricks and try to find the tension. You'll find, and like, even in the dating scene, using your feminine energy is so powerful. A lot of women have been programmed that the way to get a man's attention is to be flamboyant and to be open. Let me see if I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So a lot of women think that a way to get a man's energy is to be flamboyant and to be like super bright and trying to take all of the attention. There is something that happens when you start to dedicate to your feminine energy, where you then become the center of your world rather than the male gaze and rather than a phallic symbol. You become the center of your world because your vibrational frequency is dense, thick, and it's juicy, and your cup overflows. Masculine energy, activated masculine energy is naturally attracted to the quiet brilliance of an activated feminine rather than a boisterous and flamboyant woman. So when you begin to quiet yourself and thicken up your energy will start to speak before your mouth does and before any type of actions or behavior does. A masculine man is magnetically drawn to a juicy and deliciously quiet, confident woman. If you want to be more attractive to men, learn how to make your energy attractive. And all of these things that I'm sharing in these videos and all of the videos that I post will help you to become an energetically attractive woman. Because at the end of the day, if you look in the animal kingdom, for the flamboyant animals, when it comes to the male versus the female species, male animals amongst many species are the ones that put on these incredible displays just to get the female species attention. There are some birds like peacocks with all those beautiful plumes. Those are typically the male peacocks that are asking for that attention to get the female's attention so that the female will select them for mating. There are multiple different animals that the male species is the one that puts on the show for the woman. Okay? So think about that. You want to be impressed by a man. It's not the other way around. And to be honest with you all, and this is another reason that I love y'all so much, because I can really just share where I am with my personal development. And this whole Instagram thing is like a thing for me, y'all. So I'm going to just be like fully transparent with y'all. I have not been on Instagram. I haven't posted anything this year. You can find me Andrea Mind Body Soul. So I'm a pole dancer. And one of the things that I realized from doing my inner work and quieting myself and observing the way that the algorithm has shifted and the way that people show up on Instagram, particularly pole dancers, it for me, it started to feel very masculine. So the pole itself is a very phallic symbol, which is why I try to dedicate myself to other movements outside of just pole dance. I'm just gonna share this with y'all really briefly because this is therapy for me too, y'all. Like this is my church, this is my temple energy, and I love to share this with you. So I'm gonna be honest with you. It started to feel for me like I was in my masculine energy on that platform. And I was even talking to this one guy, we were friends, and he was saying, yeah, you have like really masculine energy. And energetically, it started to feel kind of not good for me to have to always show up and display and be on display for my physical attributes. It actually started to feel pretty masculine. However, of course, a lot of people will look at me and they would be seduced by my energy and they would be, magnetically attracted or in awe of my energy because aerialists, we are fascinating people. We're strong. You don't see people accomplishing these things, but it was just like this pull on my masculine energy that I found. And so I just had to take that power back and really focus it into the pleasure that I was finding in my body from the process of teaching my students. And those moments, those special moments where I'll be reviewing a flow and I go into this zone where you could feel that deep activation. I have a lot of Kundalini energy activations in me, and I activate other people around me. And I could feel this activation just by showing up in that moment in class, like that raw, unscripted movement and flow. And so I've called my power and my energy back so that I could just find that play. So it comes back to play. And it comes back to a boundary that I decided that I wanted to create for my inner goddess. My inner goddess does not want to be in that fierce warrior goddess energy that is called upon by always showing up on display, and there have been times in my life where it's felt good, it's been playful, but because of how much I give to my community, I decided that showing up consistently and displaying my skills and my talents and my feminine power in this way on media was something that I wanted to take back and draw boundaries with. So I hope that you understand what I'm saying as I explain this and express this to you. So feminine energy, when you begin to slow down, and you become more receptive and you become more aware of your energy. Another thing that's going to happen is that masculine men will be disarmed. So the boisterousness, the bravado, a masculine man oftentimes will start to treat you more gently. Like the fiercest warrior will fall to his knees and worship an activated feminine woman who is secure in her energy, grounded in her energy, and allows her energy to overflow. He will fall to his knees and drink, literally fall from to his knees and drink from your cup. A masculine man needs a woman in order to give him purpose in life. It is an evolutionary fact, and it is one of the primal biological things that make being of opposite sex so juicy and so delicious. And so when we are leveling up our feminine energy, we want to be aware of these things. A part of leveling up your feminine energy is understanding how your power works and how masculine power works, because it is not the same. Another thing that I have learned by activating my feminine energy, or another thing that has activated my feminine energy, is releasing the need to know when things are going to get done. So again, when it comes to my manifestations, what's that thing that I recently manifested? Recently, I manifested something. It was on my dream board. It might have been like paying off my car or something like that. So I manifested paying off my car. And there have been times where I could put more towards paying on the car, and there are times where I just had to do the regular payment. And excuse me, rather than putting a concrete timeline on that thing, I just poured my energy into making it happen and manifesting that. And then it just came about. And honestly, it feels like energetically, I've gotten to a level of comfort and mastery of my feminine energy where my manifestations are just starting to pour in. This January, February portion of the year has showered me with so much abundance, okay? Because I have surrendered to the inevitable timelines of certain things. So instead of feeling a need to have things done at a certain time, or to have your masculine provider or your partner on a particular timeline, it's important to allow yourself to lean back and let divine timing take the wheel. Because when we rush things and when we have expectations on when they are supposed to happen, we can miss the actual importance of why we had our eyes set on that goal in the first place. Many times, what you think is supposed to be the outcome of something that you desire was actually just to put you on that path so that you can discover other things along the way. So, those lessons within the process of striving for the accomplishment of that desired goal. So, moving from the mental realm of masculine energy and into the feminine realm of feeling in the body is going to give you more pleasure. So, coming back to eating your food, when you take your time to eat your food and tap into the different seasonings and the different flavors that you're experiencing through your senses, the smell of the food, the taste of the food, the way that it settles into your belly, the time that it takes for you to be satiated and satisfied by that meal, it's going to start to change and it's going to start to evolve. And because now you slow down, you're going to experience more pleasure. When you're moving your body in your yoga practice or your dance practice, your belly dance practice, whatever it is you're doing, your meditation practice, when you allow yourself to sit with, even if you're uncomfortable, if you have discomfort in your body, allowing yourself to feel that discomfort, tap into it, and allow yourself to be turned on by the fact that you can feel. Because for many years, I numbed myself out to feelings and to sensations. There were periods in my life where I was numb, and I meet a lot of women that are numb to sensations and feeling pleasure in their bodies. And it's because they're living from a masculine paradigm. Self-care and rituals are going to be the next thing to level up your feminine energy. So this is one of the biggest things for me, because the deepest work that you can do is that intrinsic inner work. And your rituals, which are the day-to-day checkpoints and processes that you go through intentionally to set yourself up for juiciness and deliciousness for the day. And you want to be aware of what are your priorities in life. And I have a video called Feminine Rituals for Success. And I talk about some masculine structures and some feminine structures. I was talking to a client the other day, and she said, I love this for her. She said that she had a list that she looks at every day when she wakes up of priorities that she has for her life. And it said something to the effect of play, learn, rest, eat well, and work. Like it was something like that, where she set this visual reminder for herself of the priorities outside of just going and making money. So if you could set a list of priorities for yourself, as we're still moving through this calendar new year energy, we have not yet gotten into the spring yet, so it's still right to plant certain seeds. Certain seeds do need to get planted in the winter time. Write that list of priorities for yourself and make it a ritual to check in with that list. So another ritual, a ritual that you could do, is just creating a morning vibe for yourself. Check in with yourself, make a quick note of how you feel emotionally before you turn on media, how you're waking up, what your mood feels like, what your body feels like. Did you have a dream? Oh my gosh. Dream recall has tuned me so deeply into my feminine energy. I'm going to get back to that in a second. But start off with your day, check in with yourself, write it out, because the subconscious needs to be activated by written word. Journal it out, or even make a voice note. I love voice notes. And then at night, check back in with yourself, and how are you absorbing or setting boundaries and processing your experiences. And this is going to tune you in to your feminine energy. And it's just a very simple ritual to help you to become more vibrationally juicy, because now you are consciously aware. And there are some psychosomatic things in there, the checking in with your body to see what's going on. How are you responding to the foods that you're eating? How is your body responding to the exercise, the workout that you did for the day? Checking in so that you can also get that psychosomatic development. How are your clothes fitting you if you're on a health and weight loss journey? So dream recall, on a side note, is one of the things that I have really been enjoying so much. So my quest, another side quest that I have this year, is to lucid dream, y'all. So one of my personal goals, life goals, like intrinsic things, not material related or business related, it's consciously related. What's happening in my consciousness is to have more lucid dreams. So towards the end, you can tell this excites me, right? So towards the end of the year, last year, I had my first lucid dream, y'all. Okay. And if you don't know what lucid dreams are, that basically is when you become consciously aware that you are actually dreaming. So you are in your dream and you have this moment where you're like, oh shit, I'm actually dreaming. And in that dream, it was really cool. I was in an island, like at a resort, and I was by myself, and I found myself like looking at the wall, looking at the decor, walking around. And it was just like, it was so cool. Lucid dreaming is so dope. So I got a book on lucid dreaming. I'm studying lucid dreaming, and I haven't really had lucid dreams this year, but I dream a lot because now I am making it a subconscious priority. I told myself as a ritual that this is now a subconscious priority for me to focus on the quality of my dreams, the consistency of my dreams, and ultimately lucid dreaming. So I have to reiterate that ritualistically before I go to sleep. I have a book that I read. I'll read a couple pages from the Lucid Dream book. And then I go through my mantras. I am remembering my dreams vividly. I am lucid dreaming tonight. Okay. And there are like multiple levels to dream play and the dream realm and the things that you can do in the astral energetic realm. But that's for another conversation. If you want more talk on that, let me know in the comments below. And also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe this video. I know I'm pretty deep into this video and I haven't reminded you. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video if you love this content and if you are resonating with these messages. And if you are in your feminine energy and you have allowed yourself to sit down and take this journey with me conversationally, drop a heart below. Let me know that you're still with me. So that's my side quest. It's a part of my self-care to take care of my subconscious mind, my astral realm, which is like having a parallel story in life. So there's a story that we experience of life when we are awake. And then there is the subconscious astral story that runs parallel when we sleep. And we get a lot of insights into what's going on in our subconscious mind when we're able to have good sleep hygiene and good dream quality and remembering our dreams. Okay. So for me, this is a part of my self-care and it's a part of one of the rituals that I really am highlighting right now. So try to have rituals for yourself. Every goddess has rituals, and there's also a video on feminine rituals for success, I believe. So another reason why we want to have self-care and do rituals is because it taps us into the wisdom. It taps us into the wisdom that we have in our wombs that connect us to past generations. Previous generations, we were able to sit around in circles with our elders and receive information about all of this femininity and, women related things, but we have been disconnected from those things. However, when you do your inner work and you start to get into your self-discovery and make it a part of your life ritual, you'll begin to activate these things. And that's one of the things that I've learned. So another form of self-care, so that's the inner self-care, which is the inner work, working with your subconscious mind, having your daily rituals, whether it be a ritual to help you to heal or whether it be a ritual to help to support and filling up your well, your energetic vessel. Every devotional practice that we make for ourselves, whether it is reading a book or taking a course, check out the website, yambs.co, for information on the courses. Did that thumbs up just come on the screen? Wow, I love my new phone. Oh, so that's another thing that I manifested. I manifested a new phone. Oh, thumbs up just came up on the screen. I don't know if that's going to be in the recording. That was funny. So I had to start a whole new phone line the other day. It came out of nowhere. It was unexpected. And when I went to the store, they were like, we're giving away free phones for people that start new phone lines. So I got a whole upgrade just because I was receptive in something that could have been a setback, which was losing my phone line unexpectedly, actually turned out to be a major gift. So now I have this gorgeous pink phone. It's girly. It's in a sparkle case. It matches my nails, like big birthday energy. The universe just blessed me for my birthday. And I'm feeling so fortunate. And so I'm feeling so good about everything that the universe is blessing me with right now beyond expectations. And this is what happens when you do your inner work and when you level up your feminine energy. The universe just starts to pour things into your cup. Okay. So grooming is another form of self-care, which has helped me to level up my feminine energy. So one of the things that makes me feel juicy and magnetic after I do that quiet intrinsic work on myself is showing up and really taking care of my physical appearance. So y'all, I finally found a some lashes that I love to wear. So now I've got my lashes going. I don't know if you noticed, finally got that under control. I didn't start wearing makeup between us. I didn't start wearing makeup until I think I was like in my early 30s because I've always been a tomboy. I've always prided myself in being a tomboy until I got a bit older and really started to appreciate beauty and femininity. So taking care of your grooming processes is very important. So I like to always have my lashes. I love to have my nails done. It's a part of what makes me feel in vibrational alignment. These are things that I prioritize aesthetically making sure that my skin is moisturized, making sure that my hair is taken care of and fresh. Let me tell you, being in January, not doing coffee, not having my hair fresh, even though it probably looked good for the video, not having it fresh was like, that was a little stressful for you, girl, because I have these feminine standards for grooming for myself. But, when again we talked about the Empress energy, I think in one of my most recent videos, I think it was like 2 or 3 videos ago. The Empress energy is shiny, she's beautiful, she's comfortable, she's seated, but the way that she got there was through that continued diligent work. But what I'm saying is, you have a standard for your hair. Get a look for yourself for your hair that you can do and keep consistently, so that at a baseline level, you look presentable and you have a consistently well-groomed appearance. For these videos, I love to wear my lips. I definitely want to try to explore some more red lips this year. But what makes me feel in vibrational alignment with my ultimate goddess energy is red lips. Okay. When I explore other lip colors, I'm like, oh, this was interesting. It was fun to explore, but nothing makes me feel in alignment and bright like that red lips. Like nothing does it like the red lips. So that's why I always have the red lips in these videos. And then having my hair done, not only grooming my hair and having it done makes me look consistently crisp and on point, but it also aligns with my very busy active lifestyle. I don't have to worry about doing my hair every day. I can sweat profusely and not have to worry about that because natural hair requires a lot. If I was rocking my afro all the time, I would have a grooming process for that. So just making sure that you are groomed well, taking care of your hygiene, having your hygienic processes that you do consistently, that just sets that baseline juicy vibration for you. And one of the things that you can try, which I like the idea of, is trying to focus on one thing. I was listening to a video somewhere and she made this really cool recommendation. So one thing you could do is focus on one grooming process, either per month or per quarter. So maybe for one quarter, you really just want to like spoil your hair and do your hair smoothies and do your hair mask and make sure that your ends are clipped and really like get on top of that hair growth, that hair quality game. And then maybe for the next quarter, you want to focus on your skin quality. So moisturizing yourself, trying a new moisturizing regimen, trying, like, I love wood therapy. So maybe I'll put that on my list to do my wood therapy, which is great for not only the quality of your skin, cellulite and so on, but it's also really good for your lymphatic system. So maybe, trying that for a month, maybe doing water goals and stepping up your water goals for a month, which will change everything. That is definitely a part of grooming and self-care on all levels. You should always have water goals of some sort. And remember, however much you weigh, you need to be drinking half of that in ounces of water. Okay. So having that presentation of how you present yourself and be well groomed. Have your wardrobe set up. Some people do capsular wardrobes where they wear similar things. They have a variety of like a similar look so that you don't have to think about it. So that way, when it comes to your life and the flow of your life and getting things done, there are just some baseline things that you don't have to put your masculine energy into. So the point of having self-care rituals, having general rituals, and having these grooming rituals is so that you don't have to spend a whole lot of extra energy, masculine energy, trying to figure these things out. It's like when you are presented with multiple choices at once. Have you ever been presented with a menu? Let's say there's a huge menu of delicious looking things in front of you. It's so challenging to choose from all of those delicious things, right? Like a kid in the candy store. If you can isolate your choices, your daily choices that you have to make, and limit them to keep your life simple, you're going to always have something, you're always going to have a healthy outcome when you can kind of predetermine those things at the start of your week. So, like I've said before in previous videos, I have daily rituals. I have an every Sunday, Monday ritual that I do. I have a beginning of the month ritual. I have a ritual for the full moon, the new moon, the season. Like, I got rituals upon rituals because I'm a Virgo rising, and it helps me to flow in life. Like, my energy never stagnates, it never backs up. And I would say majority of the time I am in a state of overflow, and I'm able to give from my overflowing cup. And when I don't feel full and juicy and overflowing, I have rituals for that. So just know yourself, care for yourself, and do it so that it's ritualistic, which is consistent, it's intentional, and it's really going to fill up your energy and make sure that you're vibrating high. Okay. I could do this as a two-part video. I wish that I could go live. So I promise y'all that figuring out how to go live is on my to-do list. I just completed the website yams.co a few weeks ago. So that was a really big project for me. And after that project, I really started to network and meet a lot of incredible women in my community, and just doing a lot of connecting from that point and answering a lot of other questions, also catching up on rest. So I do have a to-do list that I have for YouTube and a couple of other things. Excuse me. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, damn, I wish I could go live so I could ask y'all if y'all want me to do a part two. Because to be honest with you, I'm so comfortable in my feminine energy presently in this moment that I could stay here for another day. But there's a part of me that's like, man, how long is this video right now? So I'm just being honest with you. Okay. So I really might do a two-part. This has been fun. Okay. So the next thing that I have, and of course, if you need to pause this video and come back to it later, do you? I'm having a good time. So the next thing that I have is pranic energy when it comes to activating your feminine energy. And having high pranic energy is something that I learned to do a long time ago. And it's something that I've been practicing for years. And pranic energy is your life force energy. It is basically how you nourish yourself to feel vital. So it's going to start with your foundation at the root by how you are feeding yourself and making sure that you have high nutritional quality foods that you are putting into your diet, colorful foods, natural foods, unprocessed foods, and making sure that you are eating high quality unprocessed foods. So not eating out, not having other people's hands and energy in your food constantly. Learn how to prepare your own food. So this is in the category of foundational life skills that you need, next to having healthy grooming and self-care skills. Like, this is just basic foundational stuff. Knowing how to prepare your own food and how to prepare high quality meals that are low in carbohydrates, which creates cortisol. It creates more cortisol and more stress in your body. When you are eating high carb, high processed foods, it also contributes to depression. I was reading an article the other day that talked about how eating a lot of processed foods, eating in excess of carbohydrates actually contributes to depression. So pranic energy is the opposite of having depression. It is being elevated. It's actually being high off of life and being high on your own energy. And this comes from eating a high nutritionally valued diet, as well as oxygenating your body properly through breath work. So taking deep breaths. It's important to be taking deep breaths when you first wake up in the morning, because a lot of times when we sleep, we actually shallow breathe in our sleep. So when you wake up in the morning and you take just some really deep breaths upon waking up, you're going to start to oxygenate your body. Okay. And as you begin to pay more attention to yourself, you'll start to notice how you actually breathe when you are moving through the world. When you're stressed out, your chest barely rises and falls when you breathe. But when you're feeling good, you're taking really deep breaths. Think about laughter. Okay. Laughter, it fills you up. Sometimes you can laugh and be out of breath. There's times where I'm laughing, I'm like, about to choke on myself. This oxygenates your body and you're getting all of these feel good hormones flowing through you. So your pranic energy is something that is a symbol of your vitality and is also going to be a marker of your longevity. It's going to contribute to a youthful energy. So an activated feminine woman, you can tell she's activated in her feminine energy because she looks youthful. She looks vibrant. I constantly get compliments on my skin. Like every day, men and women are like, your skin is perfect. It glows. What are you doing for your skin? And to be honest with you, I just keep my pranic energy popping. And staying along the lines of the energetic realm, your feminine energy is going to be nurtured by your mindset. Okay, so we haven't really talked a lot about mindset today. In a lot of videos, we do talk about mindset, but your mindset and having a positive outlook is really going to affect your pranic energy. So if you think about your mindset as the lens that you see your entire life from. So let's say you have a pair of colored glasses, they're rose colored glasses. There's one thing to be foolish and naive and see life through rose colored glasses. And then there is another thing to simply be optimistic and have boundaries on toxic thoughts and toxic belief patterns. When you are in your feminine energy, you don't hold grudges. You don't complain a lot about circumstances that are out of your control or people. Feminine energy is gentle, compassionate, nurturing. And so you see that there is a positive light in everyone. That doesn't mean, accept the okey doke or the foolishness because we have boundaries. We set boundaries first, but it means that everything should be working for you, especially challenging circumstances. See them as something that is here to support your evolution. And this will level up your feminine energy because your energy will be popping. It'll be shiny because you are always positive and you are in your light feminine energy. Okay. Coming towards the end of my list, I have stop competing with men. Just stop it. Okay. We talked a bit about this before. Okay. Let them showcase themselves. Let them display their power and their energy. Let them talk themselves to death and prove themselves to you. Ask questions. Take the time to listen and respond when you're dealing with men, and save your energy. And at the same time, learn to ask for help. So when I started to step into my feminine energy, I really started to allow myself to be open for more support, from men, and for more support from friends and community. People are always going to be open and willing to help you out, to solve problems, to, expedite the manifestation of certain things, but you have to allow yourself to be open. I remember when I was in college, I was so hell bent on proving everyone that ever threw shade or hate on me wrong. My goal was to prove that I was worthy of X, Y, and Z, to prove that I was worthy of success by going and getting this degree and accomplishing this thing. It was all about proving. That puts you in your masculine energy. Right now in my life, I've grown to a level where I find so much pride in being well rested, well cared for, well fed, healthy. My hair is not falling out. My hair is vital. My skin is vital. I have energy. I'm not exhausted all the time and stressed out. Being around those people it's a lot. Okay. And it is because I learned how to receive, not just receiving help, but to receive people's perspective and to receive the support that other people want to pour into my well. And when you're in your feminine energy, you realize that just because someone is giving something to you does not mean that you and then in turn around and try to give an equal amount. So it's like somebody gives you a gift. Okay, let's say someone gives you a gift, okay, and you are super grateful for this gift. But then the next day you turn around and you feel like you need to go to the store and then get them something of the same monetary value. When you do that, it means that you have not received fully what has been given to you. You are now trying to equate that process, that which is a masculine process, and say, okay, I've input the data of what just went into my system, and now I'm then going to give it out. Being grateful and being receptive of what life is bringing to you, of what your relationships is giving to you, bringing to you, what God is blessing you with, and just sitting in the warmth and in that gratitude will make you so energetically abundant. And then on the other end of the spectrum, when whoever has given you that thing or whatever, if God has blessed you with something, like I said, this phone was a gift, and you just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, and just allow yourself to be filled with the gratitude, like really receive that physical thing, really receive that compliment, receive it, absorb it, and sit with it. What that does is it's going to amplify your frequency to bring more. And then in the future, as your cup continues to overflow, you can then give that, you can pay it forward. You can pay it forward energetically. You can pay it forward when someone else is in need of your help. Rather than allowing, so you want to allow yourself to absorb deeply, energetically in your womb, receive it, take it in, feel it, let it sit there, let it grow. Let that vibration grow of being cared for, of being supported, of having that time to slow down and receive something, rather than automatically feeling like, okay, now I need to go and I need to give back. Okay. And that's a whole nother conversation, but that's all I have with you today. I could go on and on. I've had so much fun in this video. Please let me know what resonated the most with you in this video, and what is it that you are going to sit with, maybe journal and reflect on, that you found most useful from this video. And please leave a heart. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you've lasted this long. Thank you so much for being here. I love you each, and I will catch you in the next one. One love.